Gino Van Kessel, Rangelo Jagna, Jermaine Augustine, Javaro Neponicho, and that's the starting 11. Let's pause for the Curacao national anthem. The Curacao national anthem. Up next, national anthem of Barbados. Beautiful national anthem in the world, the national anthem of Barbados. Completing the lineup for Curacao, of course, the manager is the legendary Patrick Clavert. The officials on the field, the referee is Kevin Morrison out of Jamaica, and completing the Jamaican quartet, we have Garnet Page, the second official, his fellow second official Kibley Williams, of course, the linesman, and the fourth official is Dwight Royal. That's the official lineups, the teams, the officials. Everything is ready ahead of the 8 p.m. start. Once again, Barbados versus Curacao in this first round of Scotiabank CFU Men's Caribbean Cup game. We're live here at the Usain Bolt Complex on Hot 95.3 FM and also streaming on Sports.bb. As I say, good evening for the first time to the man to my right, Paul Mears.
Good evening to you, Curtis. Good evening to all our listeners and viewers. And we again welcome you to the Usain Bolt Complex. The ceremony is just about to be completed. And in a few moments, the big clash between Barbados and Curacao in the CFU first round will kick off. Not a very large crowd here at the Usain Bolt Complex. We're hoping that it will build up a bit into the night. As we speak, spectators beginning to come in, heading over to the far side. And this is the second friendly international we've had here at this venue. And the last encounter we had, pretty good turnout of spectators. We hope that we can reach those very heights again. I'm sure most of the local crowd here will be hoping for a victory for the home team. Good representation also in Curtis from Curacao. At least two media houses from Curacao taking the broadcast in the game live. So there's great interest in that island for in this particular encounter. I'm sure that both teams would want to get a win under their belts in the first round.
Indeed, because the return leg, well, not a return leg in terms of these two teams, but the next round of competition is in a few weeks' time. Let's say good evening now to Trevor Thorne. Trevor, we've had the official warm-ups. The starting 11s are named. Any surprises for Team Barbados?
Well, good evening to you, Curtis. Good evening to Paul as well. Iceman is at the controls, Ronnie in the studio, and of course, the Barbadian public from all 11 parishes, as we welcome you to the Usain Bolt complex at Blackrock in St. Michael, Barbados, the West Indies. And thanks for locking on to the coverage. Surprise, surprise. I would have thought that Barbados would have probably gone with a bit more of an attacking prowess. Elijah Downey was right there, ripe and ready to take on these tall, absolute. Well, each man is possibly 6 foot tall or a little bit more, so his low center of gravity would have given these players a lots of trouble. But tonight, for me, surprise, Colin Hayward hasn't gone with Elijah Downey, the best prospect I find in local football right now. He's gone with a more of a defensive lineup to me, and as far as I see, I'm seeing the defense and midfield being bolstered by the likes of Chandler, Jamal Chandler, that is, from the BDS Sports program, and I believe Emerson Boyce is going to play a central role with the likes of Louis Moss playing on the left hand side. We're off and running though in the first couple of seconds here. Barbados in control of the ball at the right back position, pressing forward. Bailey comes inside and spreads it wide. This time around, the Morris tries to clear, but he's under strict pressure this time around. Here's Jules in possession down this left hand side, tickles past two men, cuts it inside, immediately cut out at the back. Little 1-2 between the Curacao players down the left hand side. Cover challenge comes in from Morris, and as he shadows that one out of play and over the touchline, it will be a free kick then to Barbados. But the first salvo coming from the Curacao team, Curtis, you see they're pressing Barbados high and not allowing us to play those tiki-taka 1-2 players that we would want to play here and get comfortable. But safe and sound at this point in time with just 1 minute gone, 0-0 between Barbados and Curacao.
And the Curacao team obviously has done its homework. Mario Hart is being afforded absolutely no space. Actually, that foul is given as he's held by the shirt by the Curacao defender, because they know the big point striker turns both ways at Bill. He's very, very strong, and he will attract lots of attention tonight. As you mentioned, just about 1 minute gone, no goals as yet, Paul, as the atmosphere continues to be rather heightened and the crowd continues to come in.
Yes, very much so. And I just want to pick up quickly on, well, after this free kick.
Moss with the 40-yard drill ball into the 18-yard box, cleared away. The clearance by the head this time of Bailey into touch as Curacao get possession in their own half on the left-hand side, cutting across the middle of the field. Latchman in possession. He prods it forward 7 yards, 10 yards. No one's come to meet him yet. Plays the 40-yard pass down the left-hand side. Finds the attacking midfielder Napoleonio. Square ball into the box. Danger here for Barbados. Moss with the clearance. Partially out to this midfield area. Here comes Curacao in possession. A little tickle inside to the 18-yard box. Square ball in. And the ball trickles off the defender. This time around, Morris, busy as a bee, as the ball then falls to Kiesel Broom, who grabs it with both hands and ushers his team up the field. 2.5 minutes gone. We're rumbling and tumbling here at the Usain Bolt complex. Brooms puts it on the floor and waits for his team to make his way past the half line. 50-yard clearance, right side, a little push in the back by the Curacao team. They're getting rather physical here. Clearance, this time by Vroom, and the attacking header by Barbados there. Into the danger zone it goes, but the ball is cut out at the back and played all the way back to Eloy Vroom, who is the Vitesse #1 keeper in Holland, and therefore he gets to start ahead of anybody else here. Here comes the Dutch influence by coach Clivert. Barbados dropping back to the half line and giving the Curacao team a chance to play on the left hand side. 3 touches on the ball, 4. 60% to Curacao right now, 40 to Barbados. The floated ball to this right hand side, stretching Barbados totally. Moss coming in for the challenge. He is keeping cover as Jules stamps accidentally on the toes this time of, I admit that, Gino Van Kiso from Slovakia, playing in Slovakia that is. He then falls over and gets the foul. Hart in possession, steals the ball from one man, looking for the run of Holligan, plays the leading ball into Holligan. Holligan gets nothing for his troubles as he's brought down with a body check. And momentarily he's feeling for the right foot, but he gets up and starts to move again. He'll be the danger man here this evening. And hopefully Hart can hold on to the ball just a little bit longer and allow Hayden Holligan to make his move into the 18. And surely, Curtis, if he gets a foul like that in the 18, referee has no choice but to point to the spot. But smart little foul there, the little elbow in the back. Holligan went over rather easily, but all still even Stevens as here comes Curacao down the left hand side. 5 touches on the ball. Oh, little twist and turn past one man, but he's facing his own defense and goes all the way back to his left back. This time around bringing Coco Martina into play. And you know Martina, he's the Southampton professional. The team boasted this evening by not one single amateur, all professionals this evening for Curacao, and Barbados will have a job on their hands to contain them. But perhaps Hart can have a change of mind and maybe take on 1 or 2 of them. 5 minutes gone, Curtis, Sam, it's still tied 0-0.
Yeah, 5 minutes gone in this one. Evidently, it was clear on that run that Hart and Holligan looking to link up, and Holligan sandwiched between the 2 Curacao defenders. Said 6 minutes gone now into the 6th minute of this one. Barbados perhaps doing more defending than they would have envisioned at this point of the game. Early Stevens, here comes the cross, comes in. Now this could be dangerous for Barbados. Bit of a mix-up. Curacao on the ball once again. Laid off shot comes in now, but easy pickings for the Barbadian number 1 Kiesel Broom. 6 minutes gone. First shot on target so far, but it was a bit of a miffed one, Paul Mears, and Barbados would be wise to take heed of the warning signs as we continue on Hot 95.3 and Sports.bb.
Yes, a dangerous minute or 2 there for the Barbados team. In the end, being able to hold out and prevent what could have been an early goal there. But just wanted to pick up quickly on the point that Trevor was making in the opening remarks when he said that the Barbados team, obviously from the lineup, looking to play a bit more defensive. The coach is on record on Monday saying he's coming out to play attacking football.
Well, Paul, as you know, the tactics will continue. The little trickery, of course, in the press will always try to lead the opposition astray, and perhaps lead the media astray as well, because you really don't want them to know exactly how you're going to line up until the very last minute. And then, of course, the game plan. Only they really know what they want to achieve. We can say what we want over here, but for sure, we're seeing it played out here on the field today. Barbados bolstering their midfield. Looks more like a 5-man midfield, almost a 6-man midfield. Therefore, Colin Harewood giving us the little cold shoulder when it comes to giving us the tactics. He's obviously realized that looking through the Curacao team, playing against all professionals, and we, Barbados being more or less an amateur team with basically 4 or 5 professional players that we can call on ourselves. But here comes Curacao down the right hand side, ball cut inside. This time it's a weak cross by Gino Van Kiesel, and that ball into touch for a goal kick to Barbados. Broom, with all of his experience from the MLS, he is speaking to his team and telling them to cool it down, fellas. We are 7 minutes in and we haven't conceded a goal as yet, and therefore we're playing to the game plan, which perhaps that's what Colin Heavyfoot Harewood wants them to do. Don't concede very early and maybe try to hit the Curacao team on the counter-attack. 8 minutes go on. Curtis.
Both coaches standing, observing the proceedings from closer quarters. Coach Clivert and Coach Harewood of Barbados. Even Stevens so far. You would say Curacao has had the bulk of the attacking chances. Barbados forced to defend and haven't been allowed to settle so far by their opponents.
Yes, certainly have not been able to play their game, and it's a period of Barbados trying to hold on here. If we forced to defend, as you said, and would certainly like to look to get this ball forward and more often than not.
Go on, Hal. You got to go out there, say one-on-one. Out comes keeper Boom and releases immediately down the right-hand side. Finds Camellia. Amelia sets it going on the left-hand side. The ploy is to switch the game left and right, create the spaces that are required at the wing-back positions for the overlapping men to come and square the ball, and in will step Kiesel to try to finish. But instead, it is Barbados in possession. Hart holding off one, but he tricks Hart. In fact, he lets him think that he's behind him, but he eases on into the inside. Hart taking out two men, the 360 turn, and he wanted the 1-2 played by Jules, but on this occasion, Jules didn't read it correctly. Throwing then to Moss, Louis Moss, who plays in Wales, and he's playing at the left back position. He throws now 15 yards up the field. Hart under some pressure, gets nothing for his troubles as the professional foul is committed, but referee, as I said, didn't pick up on that one. Ball into the middle of the midfield, over to the left hand side. 3 touches on the ball for the Gents from Curacao. One-on-one chance here, but there is Moss with the sliding challenge with his left foot as he puts the ball into touch. Quickly taken by the Curacao team here down this left hand side. This is Van Kiesel. Kiesel teases one, the square ball into the box. Chance here, oh, from 2 yards over the crossbar. The goal was begging, but on this occasion getting the wrong connection as it hit the instep of the right foot and over the crossbar. This time around, I made that Rangelo Django missing from 3 yards out.
For listeners on Hot 95.3 FM, Curacao really should have taken the lead moments ago in the 10th minute. Those of you on Sports.bb would have noticed that as well, but that was definitely, Paul, the most clear-cut chance so far. Barbados living a bit dangerously at the back, a mix-up there between defence and keeper, and Kiesel Broom was almost left wanting by his defence on that occasion.
Yes, could easily have gone a goal down there. Lucky to be still alive in this one, but they're still alive. It's still 0-0 here.
Right, 60-yard clearance up into the air, asking a lot of Morris. He clears with his head, but the ball falls this time to Leonardo Bacuna, who plays for Aston Villa in the English Premier League. Down this left-hand side, 3 touches on the ball. Curacao, 4. They're spreading it here, there, and everywhere this evening. Loving this artificial turf as they're accustomed playing on this as well as grass. So no problems here for the 100% professional team that they are. Taking their time now, going left-hand side, bringing the likes of Martino into play. Tucks it through the middle, 3 touches, a nice little triangle being built by. Into the box it goes, in fact to the edge of the 18-yard box. Covered challenge comes in from Morris, the ball played back down the right hand side this time, changing the point of attack. Square ball into the box, cleared away this time by Ricardo Morris, having a brilliant game so far. 11 minutes gone and he's asked to defend. On his 4th occasion he clears with his right foot for a corner kick, the first corner kick then of the evening for Curacao on the right hand side. 11.5 minutes gone. Barbados asks to defend this right-sided corner.
So the national team under lots of pressure as they await this corner from the right first corner of tonight's game. Curacao enjoying the bulk of the possession, taken quickly and taken short by Curacao. Cross comes in now, header goes up, ball not cleared by Barbados. This could be danger. My word, that was misplaced once again by the Barbados defence, Trevor Thorne, and we're having a bit of a nightmare at the back so far. Barbados unable to cope with this relentless pressure from Curacao. 12 minutes gone and it's 0-0 in the Scotiabank CFU Men's Caribbean Cup game. We're live from the Usain Bolt complex.
And definitely Barbados defense under pressure, and for the second time in the last 2 minutes we've had some serious mix-up in the Barbados team, and they're lucky not to have conceded a goal up to this point, and they certainly will have to get themselves really organized at the back. If not, they surely will leak a goal sooner rather than later.
Well, a quick little peek back into the stats and you'll see that Curacao haven't been doing too badly over the last 365 days. In fact, beating Trinidad and Tobago at home in Curacao 1-0. A 2-2 draw against Montserrat. They also played to a 1-1 tie with El Salvador. So therefore, a quality team on the rebuild actually having reappointed Patrick Kluivert only weeks ago to marshal this squad and put it together. But what a fabulous job he's done so far, I can say, because the rhythm of the team is as though they were always together. And Barbados now asks to, in fact, Barbados in possession of the ball. Jules plays with his right foot over to this right hand side. Chance here for Hayward. Hayward down the right. Willie Square tries the shot. The clearance, in fact, is cut out at the back by the defender. And here comes Curacao down this right hand side. Danger here. Moss is going to need to watch himself. In fact, he plays the wrong ball. Instead of playing to the overlapping player on the right hand side, that will be Nepo Mulia. He played the ball inside to the number 9 player, that would be Jania, and that was the incorrect ball as Kiza Broom came out and cleared his lines. In possession, Moss with the defensive header, asking a lot this time of Rashad Jules. In pops Leonardo Bacuna, who collects and then loses possession to Chandler. Chandler's challenged and he loses possession as well. Ball into the middle of the midfield now. Chance for Curacao to put 3 or 4 touches together. That's 3, 4, 5, all the way back to the left back position. Very patient indeed. Then the threaded ball into the middle of the midfield, down the left hand side. Danger for Barbados. The square comes in, cleared away by Ricardo Morris, who at this point in Curtis has earned every single cent that he will get this evening because he's stopped every single kick that's coming from the left and the right so far, and he's working very, very hard to keep Barbados on even terms. This time around he was assisted by the assistant ref on the near side as the Dutch player Van Kiezel had ran offside. And on 14 and almost 15 minutes gone, we're tied 0-0 here at the Usain Bolt Complex. Barbados 0, Curacao 0.
As you mentioned, Ricardo Morris having a torrid time, being called on multiple occasions to clean up some work at the back for Barbados, and I believe he'll be called into action once again. Here comes Curacao spreading the ball around, and it's been noticeable so far tonight that Barbados just a stride or two off the pace as Curacao move the ball with width and very, very, very speedily here at the Usain Bolt Complex.
It must be very disappointing for the crowd so far, but it certainly has not come alive. The possession, maybe Trevor will give me the breakdown, but they've certainly had the majority of the possession so far in this encounter.
They have, I make it 65-35 on my trusted Toshiba here. Saying goodnight to my sponsors, Freaks Customs, Result Auto Shop, and of course I'm powered by Energizer batteries as well. But you can see the quality of these professional players. They're very patient. They don't need to go forward. If there's nothing on, they can go square. Mark of a good team. The possession, the passes are very accurate. Hardly ever in the air as well. Even although they do have the height advantage of each man being just about 6 foot tall, they're not using that at this point in time. They're using the levelness of the turf, and of course the first touch is excellent to pass their way out of defense and into attack, create the chances that are necessary. So far they haven't scored thanks to really good defending by Louis Moss playing at left back. He's also been ably assisted by Ronaldo Bailey, and of course Ricardo Morris has slid right into the central position and protected that back four as well, and Emerson Boyce then picking up the scraps as the ball is played out of the defense by Ricardo Morris. But what Barbados will have to do is probably depend on some more width. They're not really using the width of the pitch to their advantage. They're playing the ball into the center. As we say that, Hart with the ball into the box here, Charts here, the square ball in, but the quality this time is really poor by Romario Hayward. In that position, top coaches will tell you, you drill the ball across the 6-yard box from that angle and you're in with a real chance. Here's Hart, in with a chance now, feeds, here to Holligan, in on goal, Charts squares the ball now, ball plays back to Jules and off the defender's legs for a corner kick. Barbados' first corner kick, and so far then Curacao with one corner which they didn't put very much use to, and Barbados with a corner kick now. Hopefully Chandler, we're in 11, can put this on the head of the likes of Mario Hart or even our Blackpool professional on his head, Emerson Boyce, and he can get his third goal for Barbados. Here comes Chandler with the right-footed cross from this left-hand side. Into the box it comes now. Defensive header. Flashes across his forehead. And Curacao in possession down the right-hand side. That's Augustine. Plays it down the right. Cover challenge comes in. And a favourable challenge for Barbados as the right back, Rico Graham, is a utility man for Wales. Has been a utility man for Gord Hill as well. And he's in fact a loaned player. University of West Indies actually owns him. He's now playing his trade for Wales. And he cuts out the ball at the back. 4 touches on the ball from Curacao. Down the left. The right-footed square, yes, into the 18-yard box. Chested down. And cleared away by the defence. But assistance comes from the first assistant on this near side as the players run offside again. 19 minutes gone. We're still tied 0-0 here at the Usain Bolt complex. Curacao 0, Barbados 0.
That has become a Barbadian tradition. The crowd coming in a bit late, and we can now tell you we have a large crowd here at the Usain Bolt complex. 20 minutes gone. Trevor, 20 minutes ago we were scraping spectators, but we're now in with a quite sizable crowd. They're continuing to come. Remember, the admission is $10 and $20. If you can't make it, we're live on Hot 95.3 throughout the game, and of course we're also streaming on the Sport.bb. Even Stevens so far, Barbados looking better as the half goes on, Paul Mears, but still no real shots in anger as yet from the national side.
Yes, and that period of play about 2 minutes ago was probably the best for Barbados so far in the game in terms of the attacking side of things. At least 2 slight chances in terms of heading toward goal, but I think we were fooled a little bit earlier, Curtis, when we were judging the crowd from the stands on the eastern side, and those on the western side in which we are situated seem to be pretty filled up at the moment, with some also down on the track down in front of us.
Of course, we're taking your emails at home, 18sports246@gmail.com. Someone inquired about the starting 11 for Barbados, and we line up with let's pause, because here comes Curacao on the attack, probing on the edge of the box, looking for that final killer pass, but a bit of defensive work for Barbados alleviates the danger for the time being. Barbados starting with Kiesel Broom, Ricardo Morris, Rico Graham, Ronaldo Bailey, Emerson Boyce the captain, Romario Harewood, Mario Hart, Jamal Chandler, Hayden Holligan, Louis Moss, and Rashad Jules. 20 minutes gone, and it's Barbados 0, Curacao 0.
What they've done here though, Curtis, is that lineup you just spoke about, it lines up basically as almost like a 4-5-1 when they're defending. When they're attacking, they're switching to a 4-3-3 with the likes of Rashad Jules on this left-hand side, who's controlled the ball like if he's got chewing gum on his left foot. He's immediately paid some attention to, and for his troubles he gets a throw-in on this left-hand side here. He leaves it for Moss. This is where Barbados should speed their game up. The ball should now be coming to Chandler, who should leave his position and make his way here, but he's not doing that, so the options are lessened, and therefore you lose possession of the ball. This is the awareness, tactical awareness, which I always speak about on penalty spot. You have the ball, you're 20 yards out on the left, you want to press this left-hand side, or even get the ball to switch on the right. How do you do that? You bring a midfielder into play who's doing nothing, which Chandler was absolutely free. He takes the ball, then he switches it right side 40 yards, you find Hayden Holligan, and then Barbados goes down the right, squares to Hart, and Barbados jumping up for joy.
Did not happen, however, so it's 21 minutes gone. Barbados 0, Curacao 0 as we continue coverage of this Scotiabank Safety Men's Caribbean Cup first round encounter live from the Usain Bolt complex.
Right, so as that ball goes out, then as I said, we'll put the players into position. Brooms is in bar, Kiesel Broom, Ronaldo Bailey and Ricardo Morris centrally as central defenders. Louis Moss on the left-hand side, and I make it is Rico Graham on the right. Chandler is in a central defensive position with Emerson Boyce sitting right next to him to block the striker's shot coming in just over the top from Curacao from 35 yards. The right foot pile driver by Jermaine Augustine. He's a Brighton Hove Albion League One player, drives that one from 35 yards, but Broom had it covered. Also in the middle of that midfield, we're seeing the likes of Rashad Jules playing slightly left, and of course Hayden Holligan on the right hand side with Mario Hart pointing as the lone striker up front. Romario Harewood is slightly behind Hart to form the 5th man in that 5-man midfield. Barbados now asks to defend because the ball is on the left-hand side, and Curacao now about to play the 25-yard ball down this left-hand side. There's Graham with the defensive header off the forehead and out for a throw. 15 yards from the goal line on the left-hand side. Curacao in possession. A little flick with the foot gives up possession. Graham into Boyce. Boyce to Rashad Jules. Jules cuts across. In fact, that's Hayward. Hayward looking for Moss. Finds Moss on this left-hand side. 50-yard pass. In fact, Jules takes it. Comes across this 18-yard box. He should use his right foot. Doesn't do that. Cuts right across. Still in possession. Prods it back. A hospital pass. This time around helped out very nicely by Hayward. And Holligan with the 1-2 as the ball is into touch. And out for a goal kick, actually, I believe it is.
And Jules on that occasion ball, perhaps under a bit of pressure, thinking about it too much. If that's the Premiership, he's going to take it, run with it and shoot. But thought about it, and eventually Curacao regrouped. Barbados take the throw. 24 minutes gone. Barbados 0, Curacao 0.
Right into the 18-yard box, the throw goes. Holligan with a little piece of magic. Square ball into the box here, chance here. But Jules is on the 18-yard box waiting rather than attacking the ball. And therefore the tactical awareness is missing once more. He needed to see that ball coming across the 18, leave his outside position and come and attack over the defender's left shoulder, putting his head on it. But not to be on this occasion. Lots to learn, and we're learning it right about here and now, which is good. Perhaps we could have probably had a couple of friendly internationals, sharpen the skill level and the awareness, and we would have probably been a bit better. But obviously, funds being limited, we had to go with the local training, and therefore we're where we are right now. Barbados with this matchup, and then heading off to the Dominican Republic. I believe it is on Friday to play. I think
on Monday.
On Monday evening. So by the time we run penalty spot, they should be sweating it out.
Just a correction. Easter Monday, no penalty spot.
Okay, got you covered.
Bit of a break for us. Yes, Paul.
The Barbados team, I think Jules a little bit earlier, as you mentioned, guilty of holding onto the ball a bit too long and very uncertain of the play. But the point being made too that this Barbados team coming into this encounter without any international matches under the belts, certainly this team has not been playing together that much. And despite maybe talent in there, I think that situation will certainly have to be corrected in the future, where the team must get some matches together against some good opponents.
Totally agree with you. We would have had enough notice to get it all sorted, but as you said, finance being the way it was. Chance here now for Curacao. Oh, the sweet little dribbles into the 18-yard box. Booms is out and dives on it with two hands and locks it down with his body as well as he throws to the right-hand side, brings Rico Graham, the Wales, right back into possession. He plays it down the right-hand side. Holligan slides, and therefore the ball goes past his body and is collected this time around by Latchman into the Curacao half. Curacao with 3 touches on the ball, 26 and a half minutes gone. We're still tied 0-0, but Curacao, I make it with 3 clear-cut chances, not able to bury, and I'm sure, absolutely sure, as a former striker that would have scored the most goals on at least 2 occasions, both for chance into the box goal. We'll come back to that point there. The player's offside for Barbados on 2 seasons running. I know that Patrick Kluivert, he has to be pulling some of that curly locks that he has on his head out, because he knows for sure the chances that were created, there should at least be 1 up in this encounter, if not 2.
Well, maybe he's just a patient man. He figures, given the possession they've had so far, the opportunities on goal, sooner rather than later, they are bound to breach the Barbados defenses. But Kiesel Broom stood like the man on the burning bridge so far for Barbados. Curacao have not been as clinical as they could have been as well. But so far so good defensively from Barbados. Riding their luck so far. Not really had too many clear-cut chances on goal. Just 1 corner into the 20th minute. And it's still Barbados 0. Curacao 0. Live coverage of the Scotiabank CFU Men's Caribbean Cup right here on Hot 95.3 FM and on Sport.bb.
Yes, and the Barbados team, the analysis you said that that Clivert probably would have been making, if he made that analysis, I think he's spot on, because the Curacao team should certainly have been at least a goal up by now. And well, maybe he's a patient man, as you said, and they're just biding their time here as Barbados now go forward.
Yes, Boyce in possession. The Blackpool man plays it to Moss. Moss plays with Colway Bay in the Wales Premier League. In possession as they've won themselves a throw-in. As we said, good night to Yellow, who's doing his trade on the inside. His Hart with the overhead kick into the box, but there's keeper room. No problems for the Vitesse number 1. Picks it out the air, puts it on the floor, and then plays it to Lachman. Lachman goes left-hand side, brings Julian Justino into play. He then comes up the field, 20 yards, 25 yards, just past the half line on the left-hand side. Rolls it with the bottom of his foot. Comes across the 18-yard box. Oh, 360, loses possession. Here comes Hart now, one-on-one. Cover challenge comes in. And yes, Mr. Hart, have you won yourself a free kick? No, I think you've given away a free kick. And he gets a warning.
I think he stole next one. That's a card. Put the boot in on that occasion. Hart not afraid to throw some of his weight around. Heftily built. The big Barbados number 9 leads the line for UWI Blackbirds in the domestic competition. And I think he got his final warning on that occasion from Jamaican referee Kevin Morrison. 29 minutes gone. Barbados 0, Curacao 0.
So Curacao in possession. Ball cleared away by Ricardo Morris. Hart asks to chase it. He doesn't do so and gives the Curacao team a chance to bring it down this right hand side. That's the 20-yard ball down the right. Morris. Cover challenge comes in, wins possession. Oh, sweet play by Morris. Turns from his man, plays the leading ball, but gives up possession again. Curacao in possession, just inside the Barbados half. Ball into the box as that player is offside once more, and he's going to need to check his run. This would be the Slovakian base player Gino Van Kiesel. Barbados is outsmarting him, because just before the ball is played, there's Ricardo Morris and Bailey stepping out and forcing him into an offside position. And perhaps that's a pretty good tactic to use now, as Coach Hayward now has made the switch. He wants Holligan to go up against Camellia. That might be the matchup that Barbados is looking for. The skill of Hayden Holligan, probably about 5'5", 5'6", up against slightly taller player Camellia, who plays for NEC in Holland. Can he get the skill and really put it down here this evening at the Usain Bolt complex? The back heel this time by Hart, asking a lot of Holligan as he runs out of real estate on the left hand side. 31 minutes gone. We're still tight here. Barbados 0, Curacao 0 in this first encounter in the Scotiabank CFU Championship for 2016.
After 30 minutes, still 0-all, but you can safely say that the greater part of that 30 minutes, that the possession and the shots on goal domination, mainly by the visiting Curacao team, and Barbados looking to, over the last 10 minutes or so, 1 or 2 attacking plays, but so far it's been mainly a defensive game from the Barbados team, and I still say, still lucky not to be a goal down.
It's also noticeable the crowd, large crowd, but very silent, has become
as usual for Barbadian
tradition. Curacao have won themselves a corner, this time from the left. I think this is the first one from the left. Barbados once again with lots of defending to do, as several of the much taller Curacao players pack the box. Here comes the corner now in the 32nd minute of this one.
Right, swung in, right-footed, penalty spot, cleared away by Bailey. In fact, the ball hits the wrong side of the head and then goes right back into play when he wanted it to make its way outside the 18-yard box. Jules with the threaded ball inside this, into the Curacao half now. Hayward, one-on-one, tickles past one man. No, he should probably pull that right foot trigger. Instead, he goes wide and finds Jules. Jules with the left foot shot, cut out at the back by the defense. Into Holligan. Holligan, 20-yard pass, finds Moss. Should be going on a run outside of Moss. Instead, he cuts inside, giving Moss no choice but to try to take the man on himself. Barbados with the throw, 20 yards out on the left-hand side. Moss now looking to play Hart. Oh, gives up possession rather easy because Hart doesn't get it to this outside right position. Morris a bit impatient as the player is already giving no trouble. He's facing his own goal bar, had nowhere to go. Ricardo Morris then spreads his right foot across the player and brings him down. And the free kick then taken quickly by Curacao. This time around they go on the left-hand side. Curacao in possession, 3 touches on the ball. The little 1-2 play, drawing Barbados out again. Cross the center circle as they bring Dusty Moulter in. The flicked header, this time around played to the outside right. Takes on one man, the shot coming in. Ooh. A snapshot, traveling about 50 miles an hour. Broom says they got it covered, but surely if that was on target, he would have some work to do.
Yeah, by the time it got down there, he was saying he had it covered, but that was a scorcher on that occasion. Just a foot on the other side, Trevor, and it would have been a battle between the ball, the upright, and Broom. But Barbados continuing to live a bit dangerously. We'll see if they are forced into a tactical change in the second half. Still lots of time left in the first. 33 minutes gone. There's already a buzz in the crowd. People are calling one name, Elijah Downey. They want to see some more direct attacking from Barbados.
Yes, would have certainly loved to see him going down that left side with the ball. We saw on a couple of occasions for the Barbados team a bit unsure of what to do with it after getting into the 18-yard box. And we've seen Downey on a number of occasions this season in a similar position and has been able to convert and even on a few occasions score himself. As Barbados now in the midfield, we're looking to go forward again down the left-hand side.
Right, that's Hart with the 360 turn, taking himself out of danger into an attacking position. Gentlemen, what I think is actually missing is the courage to say, I have this from 18 yards out and take it with whichever foot the ball comes on. Right now we're getting players like Rashad Jules, the players are cutting out his left foot sided, strong side, and allowing him to cut on the inside with his right foot. What he needs to do is say, thank you very much, I'm going to shoot with the right foot. A little bit of faith in that foot and the ball will go where you want it to go. He's done it, and there's also been another player there, I think it was Hart as well, drifting across, and the bar was there saying, hit me. The ball was saying, hit me to the bar, and Hart was still looking for something more, as Barbados have a corner on this left-hand side to be taken by Rashad Jules, left-footed into the 18-yard box, cleared away by the defence, as Barbados' strikers stood still rather than attacking the ball. And there is Ricardo Morris, who's having the game of his life, Curtis, as he's there, he's in defence, he's in the middle of the midfield, and this time around he was up for the corner kick and still putting the sliding tackle as he makes his way back to that central defensive position.
Yeah, the coach cannot ask for a better performance from Morris so far in this game. He's been the rock upon which the defence has stood so far, but as you mentioned, a bit of stage fright for Barbados in front of goal. Hart and company are all capable of shots outside the box. We see it week in, week out of the Premiership, but perhaps a bit more pressure now on the international scene. Large crowd as well, and perhaps afraid of making a mistake, but they need to be a bit more positive because Barbados are not getting many opportunities, and when they do get them, they need to be on point. They need to be at least forcing the keeper into a save. He's not being forced to do so far, and 37th minute now, and they're still goalless here at the Usain Bolt complex.
Right, possession on the trusted computers here of Commentary Sports Incorporated say that the Curacao team are at some points in time 60 to 65% in possession, leaving Barbados with the other 40% perhaps at times. Like now they have the possession down this right hand side. Jules teases it past one, tries with his right foot this time around. As you can see, he does have the ability to square with the right foot, and therefore if he has the ability to square from 25 yards out, he has the ability to shoot from 18 yards, which he didn't do when he had the chance to do so. So the players are going to need to realize that sometimes you only get one chance in a game to shoot the ball. If it comes on the left, you shoot with that. If it comes on the right, you do that also, and that too can give you and your team a chance to go into the ascendancy. Corner kick to Barbados, their third corner kick of the evening. Jules with his hands in the air, so suggests that he's possibly going far. Squares now into the box it goes. Attacking header goes over the head of the defenders to this right hand side. Barbados in possession. The square ball in. Hart with the heavy header into the box it goes, and off the boot this time.
Boyce,
of Boyce, yes. It was a bit of a reflex situation, he would have had to have.
He had a free one, but it got to him so quickly.
He had to read that. He had to read that real good because it came off the defender, and in fact, it just missed the defender. And as it just missed the defender, there he was on the spot as it went past his right thigh. Just couldn't make the connection required.
Yeah, that one would have been a reflex. That one that either sticks or it does not on that occasion. Going past the outstretched leg of the Barbados captain, Emerson Boyce, their best chance so far. 38 minutes gone, no Paul. Still Barbados nil, Curacao nil. But Barbados have grown in confidence appreciably since the first 20 minutes of this game.
Very much so, and I think that would have been, if he had converted, would have been, I think, Boy's second goal. Trevor can correct me. International goal for Barbados, but it was not to be. And as you said, the Barbados team just over the last few minutes seem to be growing a little bit more in confidence. But for the most part of this game, they've been very shy in front of goal in terms of the opportunities they've had. And I'm sure that as the game goes on, that they will grow a little bit more in confidence. At what point, though, I want to throw the question, do you think we can see a substitution in this one?
Well, we're at home. I'm not pulling any punches. Halftime, if I'm not happy, I'm making a change. Trevor Thorne.
Well,
who goes out?
Before we do that, though, we need Holligan to be in the game a bit more. The only way Holligan is going to get in the game is if the likes of Chandler, this is the midfield I'm talking about, the midfielders that are around him, Chandler, as well as Rashad Jules, and the likes of Romario Harewood, they're going to need to bring Holligan into the game. What they need to do is play like what the Curacao team are doing. Run that centre circle, a triangle, play the triangle, let Holligan then drift out of contention for the ball, then play the little leading ball for 10 or 15 yards. Holligan gets involved, and Barbados then look as though they're gonna do some damage. But until the three of those defenders, midfielders get into this game and put their foot on it, stop letting the ball get away, then Holligan will be out of the game, and that may force the change that we're looking for from Colin Heavyfoot Harewood. Shot coming in, Keizer Broom bats it down, second chance at it, needs clearance, clears now by guess who? Ronaldo Bailey, playing his football now for Caledonia FC in the TNT Pro Leagues. He clears, and Curacao with the throw down the left. They go all the way back to the central pairing of Lakshman and Martina, spreading it 40 yards and stretching the likes of Moss. Barbados step up with the cat and mouse game. The defense steps up 3 steps, leaves this time the attacking Camellia offside, and Barbados in possession with the free kick midway in the defensive half on the left hand side. This one to be taken by Colway Bay's Louis Moss. 40 yards up the field, Hart, and then at last Curtis, he wins a foul for himself by keeping cool and calm and holding the defender off, forcing him to come over the top. And now Barbados with a chance to create something out of nothing. Curtis, I from here probably wouldn't go for the square. I'd probably have the likes of Ricardo Moss, who can hit from 40 yards, stand right next to Moss, play the little short ball, strike it, see what happens. But now they've gone for the square. So this is a bit more of their tactical stuff that they're using. Moss into the box, goes far side. Barbados losing possession as that player is kicked on the left shin, but Barbados continue to play. Here comes the ball into the box, a poor clearance across the middle. There's Holligan, but for some reason can't get his right foot on it, and Curacao break. Barbados in possession again now as the momentum switches again. You need to find the outside midfielders though, because they're never going to get through the middle there. Here we go. This time around it's Bakuna, plays for Aston Villa, tries to feed it to the outside, finding the left-hand side player, but this time around ball into touch with Moss in possession. 41.5 minutes gone, almost 42 now. Barbados holding on to the tie, 0-0, but they're going to need a bit more than this here in order to get past this Curacao team. Here's Boyce with the clearance, finds Holligan for the first time this evening, takes it on the chest, but plays it all the way back to Moss, who loses possession. This time around, the overhead bicycle kick. Curacao in possession down this right hand side now. The chip ball through the middle, in possession it is. Bakuna with the square ball, chance here, cleared away by, in fact, the putted shot into the box and over the crossbar. Barbados breathing easy once more, having slid in Bailey and giving up a corner kick just off that 18-yard box.
Breathing
Curtis.
easy, Trevor Thorne says. I guarantee you they are not. A sustained 5-minute spell of pressure there by Curacao. Barbados now pleading for the halftime whistle. They were looking so strong 10 minutes ago, but Curacao now pressing as we approach halftime. 43 minutes gone. We're still goalless. Curacao have won themselves another corner, this time on the left. Barbados have everyone back in the box except the striker Mario Hart. He's been isolated by the defense all night long. He's attracted the attention of the central pair, and Barbados perhaps need to be a bit more direct, Paul Mears.
Yes, and interesting to see what tactics they would use going into the second half, whether we will have any substitutions. And I agree with you, they certainly will be hoping for that halftime whistle so they can regroup. Certainly it's not been their half so far.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy up against the pros. There's Jules trying to thread the ball in, but the defense is strong and holds tight this time around. Bakuna, Holligan in possession, takes out Bakuna, but Bakuna wins back possession with the help of his right back. Ball into the center circle. Here comes Curacao down the right. Referee Kevin Morrison has seen enough. It's a bit of a warning.
Warning.
Yes, that's very good refereeing again. As I said before when I'm commentating the Digicel Premier League, hold those cards in your pocket until you can get to 30, 40 minutes, and then maybe then the game would possibly be turned out to be pretty clean. But so far he's showing all the experience of a top Caribbean referee. No cards so far, and we're almost at halftime. Curtis.
Would have been a card for Ricardo Morris. That would have been a nightmare for Barbados as well, because he's been the man leading the defensive charge. So if he was sitting on a yellow, 45 minutes plus of play still to go, that would have not been great, not been ideal for Barbados. They would have been forced to contemplate his substitution. But as it stands, he's perhaps received his final warning, and that's something now for Barbados to consider. And of course, the tactical master that Coach Clivert is, he'll be sure that he'll be urging his players now to run directly at Morris, because he's going to have to be very, very careful in the second half.
Yes, for sure. This guy Clivert, as you know, he would have had the likes of Edgar Davids, Frank and Ronald De Boer, Danny Blint, also Mark Overmars, the likes of Reisiger, Clarence Seedorf, and of course goalkeeper Edwin van der Sar in his corner when he was playing for Ajax. This one into the box. Holligan under a bit of pressure gets his attacking header to go down, but Hart didn't read the play, and therefore Curacao now going to break quickly on the center circle now. Left hand side, control with the left foot. The leading ball played down that left hand side this time around, asking a lot of the attacking player Nepa Molina, but this time around he runs out of real estate on that left hand side. Barbados with the goal kick. I make that 45 minutes on the dot, and therefore I'll be looking for referee Kevin Morrison to give both sets of players a breather, but more importantly Barbados will probably need more of a breather because they've been under the cosh for 60% of the time. And there we have it, bang on time. Referee Kevin Morrison, the Jamaican, 3 blows of the whistle brings this half to a close. We're still tied 0-0 in this intriguing encounter at the Usain Bolt complex between Curacao and Barbados in the Scotiabank CFCU Men's Caribbean Cup.
Thank you very much, Trevor Thorne. As you said, it's halftime here. We'll be back with more on Hot 95.3 FM.
Across these fields and hills to the open sea. If ever I'm lost, I know you'll be there for me. Like a sunrise in my eyes, there's no other place I'd rather be. This is my home. This is where I belong. My heart and soul. This is
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel, with free music streaming, free WhatsApp, free Facebook, free Instagram, and free Twitter. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153 to sign up to Digicel today.
At Guardian Group, we take care of the things you care for. If accidents happen, our general insurance policies will take care of things. Live safe. And if anything should happen to you, our life assurance policy will make sure your loved ones are taken care of. Live secure. When you want advice on managing your financial assets, our asset management experts can take care of that too. Live wise. And as time passes, our pension plans will make sure you are taken care of too. Live long. Guardian Group. Live easy.
Decent performance from Barbados, but Curacao definitely in the ascendancy.
Very much so. Good night to everyone. And yes, the Curacao team, we must certainly give the majority of the kudos in that first half to the Curacao team. And they've dominated possession. They've had more shots on goal than the Barbados team. And from the very start, Barbados defense under tremendous pressure. And it'll be interesting to see what happens as they go into the second half. I'm sure Coach Colin Harewood would be having a very serious word with his squad at halftime, and interesting, Trevor, to see what happens when the team comes out. If we'll see some changes in terms of the lineup, tactics, what can the Barbados team do to get themselves in a position where they can basically find a way through this defense of Curacao.
Well, Paul, for me, they seem to be lacking a bit of confidence, especially when the ball is played through the center of the field. I'm thinking that the likes of Rashad Jules, who's played for All Road in Antigua as a professional player only this season, needs to bring some of that confidence which he would have shown last year and which would have gotten him the actual contract to play in Antigua. If he can stamp his authority on the game and actually play those little triangles that I was speaking of in the first half, when he brings Jamal Chandler into play, as well as Rico Graham can come up from the right back position, then maybe Barbados could then enjoy some possession and then some joy going down the left and right in order to feed the ball to Mario Hart.
Well, Barbados have looked a bit hesitant so far, gentlemen. Still no Elijah Downey. Barbados not going the direct route as we've seen so far tonight. The players are capable. We see it week in, week out in the Premier League. What's plan B now, Paul, in the second half?
Well, I think, first of all, the team, well, they started to grow a little bit in confidence, we saw in that first half, but they must come out positive. We were speaking a little earlier in the earlier part of the game of the tactics being mentioned by Coach Harewood during our program on Monday.
Yes.
We said that he expected that this team, and he said this team will be an attacking team. Well, we've seen a few occasions in this first half, Rashad Jules coming down the left side and looking, a bit unsure as what to do, who to pass off to, and so on, holding the ball a bit too long. And I think in the second half, certainly that is something that they would definitely have to look at, because in this first round game, you don't want to leave Barbados, head to the Dominican Republic with a defeat. You want to leave here with at least a one goal, on the opposition. So I think in that second half, Curtis, that they definitely will need to play a bit more positive football.
Well, Trevor, I'll put this question to you. Could it be a case then that the Barbados team is being a bit too respectful of their opponents and the coach, Patrick Kluivert?
Well, having not played for a number of months now,
yes,
you would believe that the rust would still be there for the Barbados team, and therefore, yes, they would have played in the Digicel Premier League, which is our local league, but I'm saying that the unit not having played together, then the chemistry isn't there. You can see the chemistry isn't there. Perhaps it's going to take a big player, a player like a Emerson Boyce, or perhaps the same Rashad Jules. I keep speaking about him because he, as well as Romario Hayward, is what makes the three-time defending champions, the BDS Sports program, tick from week to week. They need to do the very same thing for the Barbados team. Receive the ball and start to make that ball work for Barbados. And if they can spread the ball wide and get the likes of Holligan involved, then I believe Mario Hart could possibly be on the score sheet at least once this evening. And perhaps if Hayden Holligan can come to the party as well, then maybe we'll see him scoring one as well.
Once again, it's goalless here at halftime. A word then on Ricardo Morris. He's been having a wonderful game in the center of the Barbados defense. Narrowly avoided a caution, but he perhaps is what has separated Barbados from conceding in the first half of this encounter.
Well, if you check his statistics, last year he played every single game there was for his domestic team. That is the BDS Sports program,
yes.
The three-time defending champions. They've also run what we call the Banks Bear Champions Cup, which is the knockout version similar to the FA Cup in England. He is probably one of the fittest players there is around in Barbados as well, and therefore you expect him to have a good game. But what I've found about him now is that he's able now to read the game so much better because his confidence has grown since receiving the 2015 Best Defender of the Year. I found that he's grown leaps and bounds in his actual game and the way he plays his game. So therefore, it shouldn't be a surprise to most people to see the way he's actually playing this evening. And he actually holds the key to Barbados' defense remaining goalless in the second half. He needs to have another 45 minutes like the first half.
I'm not sure if he can maintain those standards. So, Paul, in terms of our viewers in Curacao, their team has come to Barbados, not overawed, and for me, will enter the second half while we're goalless. In terms of the feel-good factor, in terms of the momentum, will definitely start the second half with their heads up front.
That's right, full of confidence. They've dominated possession in the first half. As I said earlier, they've had more shots on goal than the Barbados team. We've been under serious pressure at periods during that first half. And Trevor was speaking a little earlier about Barbados, about Ricardo Morris must have a similar type of game in the second half. I think one or two other players now will need to step it up in the second half. And that pressure, I don't think we can soak up that kind of pressure again for another 45 minutes. We could very well be a goal or two down if they certainly don't get their act together. But I wanted to throw the question, if there is to be substitutions in the second half, who would be likely to be substituted?
I think we need pace. We need someone who will attack, who will run at this defense. I don't think we can play the aerial ball. They're much too big. They're much too strong, with the exception of Mario Hart, Trevor Thorne, or centre forwards or forwards are a bit on the smaller side. Skillful players. We need to keep the ball on the ground, move it at pace, and that points in one direction for me. Elijah Downey.
Yes, for sure. I've been actually tracking the team for quite some time now. Way back when they started training a couple of months ago as well. And from what I saw of Elijah Downey playing for Paradise FC as well as in the national team, he is one of the players. In fact, he's possibly one of the better ones. That his first touch is always excellent, and therefore, what you see lacking in this particular game is Barbados' first touch not being up to par. You've seen it from Curacao, but yet you can't pick out a Barbadian player that his first touch is excellent, except for Ricardo Morris at this point in time. Okay. So, overall effort needs to be made to have the first touch for Barbados being perfect. And if they can get that right, then the pass is always the simplest thing to make.
Would you have started with him tonight?
In my original starting 11, I had Elijah Downey playing on the right-hand side to cut past their left back, and I still see room for Elijah Downey as well in there. I wouldn't at this point. I would not even remove the likes of Hayden Holligan as yet. I'd probably gamble with perhaps Chandler, perhaps Jamal Chandler. I'd probably remove him and bring Elijah Downey, and then restructure my team just a bit, because they still do have good defensive players like Blackpool's Emerson Boyce. He can continue to play and anchor that midfield. In the meantime, Elijah Downey doing damage down the right-hand side to create chances for Hart.
Okay, we've had some issues at the back, but they've stood firm. If we look at what's going to happen in the middle coming forward, then do we also let Arantes Lawrence have a look in? He's not had the type of season that he would expect of himself in the Premiership so far this year, but he's the guy that gets things going. He gets things to happen for Barbados. Has a decent national record as well. Always full of running, holds the ball up well, and perhaps he can play the holding role, and that would free Hart to do a bit more damage.
Yes, that is a possibility as well. But at this stage of the game, you need the flair player.
Yes.
And if you look at just comparing like for like, the likes of Messi and Elijah Downey, left-footed, low center of gravity, against defenders that are 6'1" and 2, can't turn very quickly. So for me, the Elijah Downey substitution is the one. It's the key to the game right now. Secondly, after perhaps Mario Hart may fade, he's doing a lot of running, he's doing a lot of holding off those 6'1" and 6'2" two players like Muller and Latchman, and therefore he will tire. He may not make it for 90 minutes. Then it can bring Arantes Lawrence to do the remainder of the game.
Where does the crowd come into it? It's a home game for Barbados. Large crowd, as you can see on screen, and they've been a bit quiet, but I think they're going to need to be a bit more proactive in the second half of this one. The last thing you want from a Barbadian perspective is for Curacao to go ahead, but I'm sure, Paul, that is what they will be striving for. If Curacao goes ahead in this one, it's going to be a very, very difficult task for Barbados to come back from that one.
Yes, I think we know from experience that if Barbados is to depend on spectator support to urge them on to that goal, they'll be sadly lacking. If Barbados can get an early goal in the second half, I think the crowd here at the Usain Bolt complex will definitely come alive for a period of time. But I think the Barbados team will really want them to full support in the second half, so that they can put in a better performance. I'm sure that the good crowd that has dominated, that has come in here, would want to see a better performance from them.
The teams are just about ready to come back out. Second half predictions, gentlemen, quickly.
I think Barbados, first of all, I would wait to see what the changes are, if there are any changes. But what we've seen in the first half, Barbados will certainly be under a lot of pressure.
We'll be back with the post-match press conference right here on Sports.bb. Just about time to resume Barbados versus Curacao, second half action. Hey, Roddy, ready again? Second half action underway, ready again. Thank you very much, Bard, and welcome back to our listeners on Hot 95.3 FM. Second half action, Barbados versus Curacao. It is Scotiabank CFU Men's Caribbean Cup encounter. We left you, it was goalless. It is still goalless here at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex. The crowd has continued to swell in size. They're a bit more noisy. Trevor Thorne, Paul Mears. Barbados need a goal. They need one quickly. On the opposite side of things, Curacao will be hoping to put their noses in front. And I think one team is definitely going to crack. That's a chance there. The Curacao defender makes a bit of a hash of a clearance. The keeper, that would be Eloy Room, seems to have collided with the upright, damaged his back. And not what you want to see. Here comes the
medic comes on.
The medic, I believe, comes on to offer some assistance. But he will continue. 47 minutes gone. And it's Curacao 0. Barbados 0. Actually, that's the Barbados keeper, Kiesel Broom, having a bit of an injury there, Trevor Thorne.
Yeah, he struck his bat, square ball into the box from the corner kick. It's a left-sided one. And as it was curled in, there was our man of the match so far, Ricardo Morris, the BDF Sports Program central defender, clearing with his head as Curacao take the throw. And a bit of an infringement there. Barbados giving it possession then. Identical spot that the throw was taken from. Across to the right hand side goes their playmaker. That's Curaçao's playmaker, Jermaine Agustin, with the left foot, I believe. Or will it be the right foot of Leandro Bacuna from Aston Villa? We'll see. They're facing one another, 5 yards apart. Bacuna with the square ball in. There's Broom with the attempted punch, but he misses it in the bright lights at the Usain Bolt complex, and that was a nail biter as the striker came on the outside, but he misread it as well. Barbados, this time around for sure, breathing easy, because that one could easily have made it 1-0.
Well, after his performance in the first half, I guess he was destined some luck. Kiesel Broom, the Barbados #1, between the uprights. Haven't seen any changes in personnel, so it looks like both coaches have managed to keep their cards close to their chest as it stands for the first few minutes of this one. Very loud here now at the Usain Bolt complex as we continue on Hot 95.3 FM and the Sport.bb. Barbados Paul will need to start the second half a bit more authoritatively than they finished the first. They've won themselves a free kick and will take it just about now.
Yes, just as they take that free kick, the ball down just as far as the keeper. And yes, Curtis, they'll need to start a lot more positive. The crowd has continued to come in. I think even at halftime, people were still coming into the Usain Bolt complex. It's built up to quite a nice crowd at the moment as the Curacao team look to press forward.
Bacuna with the 40-yard pass across this left-hand side, stretching Barbados on their right defensive side. Graham taken out of it as the square ball comes in. Player is into touch as well as the ball, and therefore Rico Graham weathering the storm of Gino Van Kiesel as he shimmied to his right and then took it to the left-hand side. But there was the experienced and well-travelled Rico Graham, a Wales right back. Here's Jules with the leading ball into Hart, asking a lot. Out comes the keeper with a header, dangerously, as the defence clears its lines now, but only as far as Jules. Jules in possession. This is where he can do the damage with his left foot, shoots, and taken easily this time by Eloy Vroom. The Vitesse #1 picks it out the air and then brings his defence into play. He's knocking it around in his 18-yard box, tips it to the left-hand side. In fact, doesn't receive it. The defender goes right across the 18-yard box. I'm sure Clivert didn't like that, but into the midfield come Curacao now, past the centre circle, spreads it wide left, stretching Rico Graham playing at right back, and takes him left, takes him right. Rico Graham puts the left shoulder on him and clears. Beautiful clearance as well, and good defensive work as well. Hart brought into action, but the ball trickles off his head and goes all the way back to Coco Martina, the Southampton defender. Hart facing into a challenge as a player is down. Barbados with a free kick then, as the whistle is blown by Kevin Morrison, Jamaican referee. It's an all Jamaican contingent with Garnet Page, Cleve Williams and Dwight Royal, the four men in charge of this particular matchup. So it is Bailey just inside his own half, outside the centre circle. He ushers his men forward. He's looking to play this one to the left-hand side, 60 yards. Up comes the keeper, Boom, and he collects, uses his box and surveys the field. Plays the little short ball by throwing it this time around to Latchman. Latchman turns on a dime and spreads it inside just past the half line as the cover challenge comes in from Rashad Jules, who needs to just keep his cool. This is a physical game. They're not going to win all of the calls, Rashad Jules, but for sure you need to put the body on a player like Jermaine Augustine, who is one of the playmakers for Curacao. He wins a free kick, plays it short to Martino and back to the middle of the midfield it goes. Cleared away this time by Rashad Jules, but he snatched at it and therefore it's given up a corner kick. The first corner kick of the second half. Curacao having had 4 corners in the first half, Barbados 2. So as far as goals go, it's still 0-0, but as far as corner kicks go, Curacao beating Barbados by 4 corners to 2, but no goals as yet.
Off to our left, the Curacao team under the guidance of Patrick Clivert. 2 subs are being warmed up, so perhaps we can see them being pressed into action. I'm not seeing any movement on the Barbados bench at this point in time. 53 minutes gone, made that 54 minutes gone now. It's still Barbados 0, Curacao 0.
And as you said, the 2 substitutes warming up. No action from the Barbados bench. And I'm thinking that maybe it's time for a substitution.
So we're still goalless here at Wildy at the Usain Bolt complex. Got accustomed to seeing Wildy, where the bulk of football here in Barbados is played. Barbadian crowd beginning to get a bit restless now. They want some goal-mouth action, preferably for the men in yellow and blue. The men in white and blue, however, Curacao in possession once again as they continue to probe and press in the 55th minute of this encounter.
All right, so here we go with the Curacao team. 4 touches on the ball, going down the right-hand side. Square ball coming off of the defender last, they make that, and that would be corner kick.
So 2 corners in quick succession
Number 6
for Curacao, and still dominating possession in the second half. Barbados will be hopeful to get a set play situation high up the other side of the field, where they can perhaps get some numbers forward. Actually not a corner, foul was given just about 10 yards outside the box on the right hand side, and the Singapore with Curacao with another opportunity to make things happen.
Right, so the 2 attackers face one another, so that it doesn't allow us to know who's going to actually kick it, if it's going to be a left-footed one or a right-footed. It will be left-footed. Into the box, it's driven in, into the box it goes, and just past the near post, having come off the attacker last. And Barbados alert to the danger and keeping their bodies between the man and ball, and therefore as it came off the attacker, didn't have any chance to really put the right foot power driver on it. 55 minutes gone, still tied. Really interesting game here, exciting at one end for sure most of the time, but Barbados looking to do something about it. They've given up possession, however, on the right hand side. Curacao, 3 touches on the ball to the blonde-haired Bakuna, who tickles it to the inside. Ball left behind for the attacking player of Jermaine Augustine. The ball played into the 18-yard box, cleared away by the Barbados defense momentarily. All the way back to Bakuna. Bakuna plays it 7 yards, going towards his own goal, and then receives the pass as well. Cuts across the field, and this time brings Mulder into play. Mulder back to the middle of the midfield. He finds Bakuna. Bakuna to the outside. Chance here for the square. Cuts off the defender's legs last. And corner kick, number 7 for Curacao. 4 in the first half, 3 now in the second half. Played short, the square up into the air, cleared away this time by Boyce. Boyce happens to be just about the tallest player on the pitch for Barbados, apart from, I believe it is Ronaldo Bailey, who 2 of those stand at about 6'2.5". The rest of the players are much shorter, whereas Curacao have the height advantage, with most men being 6'1" or 2". In fact, the shortest man is Julian Justino, who's playing at left back and wearing number 5 for Curacao. 5 touches on the ball. They're going down the left hand side this time. Square ball into the box, cut across, chance here, and boom, equal to the task as the outstretched legs this time of Janto couldn't get onto it, Curtis. And on 60, in fact on 57 minutes, we're still tied 0-0 between home team Barbados and the away team Curacao.
Well, Kiesel Broom has been called on a number of occasions, and already in this second half he's been called on, and I think so far has done an excellent job for Barbados. And after just around 57 minutes, it's still 0-0 here. Barbados managing to hold on, but soaking up a bit of pressure still in the early part of this second half as they look to go forward now.
Curacao coach Patrick Clivert has not sat since the second half has begun. Looking patiently, here comes Barbados now. Shot comes in across the bar, and forced into a save on this occasion. Broom finally earns his keep. And Trevor thought we were calling for it to be a bit more forthright from Barbados, and so easily that could have been a goal. Another one, rasping over the crossbar. On that occasion, it was Romario Herwood pulling the trigger from outside the box. That's more like it from Barbados. But after it's all said and done, 58 minutes gone, it's still Barbados 0, Curacao 0.
Yeah, on that occasion, number 17, Rashad Jules, through the center from a hard pass. He ran onto it, took his time, and then when he drilled it with the left foot, there was room to save and parry. And then as the second shot came in, this time around, the shot was high and wide, and therefore no trouble to the Vitesse number 1. Here we go now with the Curacao team through the center, then down the right hand side. This time around they're working with Camellia. Camellia plays it back across the central area and brings Martina into play. Martina in possession again. They're knocking it around very easily inside this center circle. The ball played into the danger area, cut out at the back, and the dribble good enough to take that player out of it. Barbados coming away with the possession. Haywood, eases past one man like he's not even there, and then goes on a run. Nice little tickle pass. The chance to clear by Graham, 50 yards up the field, but he gives up possession. And on 60 minutes, we're still tied 0-0 in this fabulous, almost a chess game between the Dutch coached Curacao team and Barbados being coached by Colin Heavyfoot Haywood, a former national player with me back in the 80s and 90s. Possesses a brilliant right foot. He's also a good shielder of the ball, and he's known for never ever giving away the ball even when he's under pressure. So he's a good coach, and he's managed to coach his technique of defending, Barbados defending deep, soaking up pressure and looking to hit the Curacao team on the counter. Ball across the left hand side now, taken down cleanly by the left back Justina and played all the way back to his defense. This is the patient stuff that Curacao are known for. The little back heel lets the striker in, the shot comes in, boom, save, second chance at it and cleared away by that man again, Ricardo Morris. He's reading the game like a true chess player, and as that ball came off of Broom, he was the first to react and cleared it nonchalantly into the touchline to give his team a chance to breathe.
Fabulous first save on that occasion by Broom. His defender bailing him out on the second occasion, both earning their keep. But Curacao continue to press. Barbados living dangerously. They really need to slow this game down, or at least get it into the attacking third for themselves. Crunching tackle coming in now from the Curacao player. And after 61 minutes gone, make that 62 minutes. It's still Barbados 0, Curacao 0. It is a Scotiabank CFU Men's Caribbean Cup first round encounter. Barbados faced the Dominican Republic in the second round. The Palmeiras still no movement on the Barbados bench. 30 minutes of football left to play.
Yes, and I thought a few moments ago the few heartbeats would have been missed in this large crowd that is gathered here at the Usain Bolt complex. But certainly one seemed to be headed home. Once again, some good work by Kiesel Brooms in goal. We have a substitution.
Yes, off goes the Curacao number 10. That's Jermaine Augustine. Let's see, the player that comes on runs towards us now. You have to get the back of the jersey because the number is a bit small. But we'll bring that update. Looks like number 18. And the player coming on would be then Michael Maria. So Maria comes on, and Augustine takes a seat. Coach Patrick Kuyvert has seen enough, and he pulls the trigger first. Curacao have made their first substitution. Let's see if Barbados will respond. I see a player over there warming up, going through a stretching routine, Trevor Thorne. And 30 minutes, just about time for the first round of substitutions. Delightful through ball. This could be goal number 1 for Curacao. Player skips over the tackle from Kiesel Broom. And what do we have here? Yellow card comes out. And referee Garnet Page of Jamaica says you've been a naughty boy. Get up and go. Close shave there for Barbados.
For sure. Barbados a lapse in concentration there as the low 1-2 was played. The ball was laid on a platter inside the 18-yard box. The player attempted to go for the ball, but then when he saw Broom come in, he took the theatrical dive, the Hollywood style, went over but did not convince the Jamaican, and therefore he gets the yellow card on 63 minutes. That player would have been Rajengo Janga.
Yes.
He gets the yellow card on 62 minutes.
Yeah, the number
And
9.
we were thinking then that it did look a bit close, but referee had it covered all the way into his top left-hand pocket, where he pulled the yellow and flashed it into the face of Django.
And Broom was waving away. I think Barbados also, while all that was going on, have made a substitution. Yes, Hayden Holligan just caught sight of him taking a seat. Paul Mears, can you help me with who has come on?
I'm trying to pick it up now. I think I was more focused on the incident also.
As we were, all were. Holligan takes a seat. Barbados has made a substitution.
Looks like Raheem Sargent to me.
Okay.
Yeah, looks like him to me from there. He's playing on the left-hand side, probably looking to curl the ball across with his right foot.
Yes, I do believe you are correct. I believe it's Raheem Sargent now coming on for Holligan. Didn't see much of the ball tonight. Not able to make many of his trademark mazy runs. Runs like he has no bones in his back, twists and turns. But he takes a seat as Barbados go in search of a goal. 64 minutes gone, and we're still goalless here at the Usain Bolt complex.
Well, with Sargent coming in, it would look as though then he is an attacking player, but he's not as versatile as a couple of the other strikers that Barbados have. So there could be a ploy to still hold the Curacao team and then maybe just try to break out as far as the counter-attack goes. And here's one of those counter-attacks now. Here we go with Jules, the bad ball this time to Raheem Sargent, giving up possession. In fact, no, the clearance comes in and Barbados win a throw right in front of us here with Rico Graham wearing the number 3. He plays to Ronaldo Bailey. Bailey twist and turn pass one. Bailey being the son of a former Barbados national keeper who played in Great Britain as well. A man by the name of Horace Stout, alias Brigo. This keeper living a bit dangerously because he comes all the way to his 18-yard box. That's the second time he's tried one of those glancing headers to his defender. So what if I were Hart, I would allow him to play that glancing header and go and just go to the side. In fact, make him think I'm going left and let him head it to the right hand side and I'm going right, and they're going to put that ball past him. But hopefully that will be a ploy that Hart could deploy in this particular game. But here comes Curacao. A lot of space and a lot of room. Ball played to Hart. Hart with a low tickle pass this time, around finding Jules. Jules plays the outside ball. In fact, that's Hayward playing the outside ball. He's just not get his passing boots on this evening. Plays it too hard. Bit too much pace and power. Hart running out of real estate on that left-hand side, giving up a throw to Curacao.
66 minutes gone now. We're still in search of a goal in this first round encounter. Both teams making one substitution each, Paul Mears, and the game seems to have settled now after the frenetic start to the second half of the campaign.
And Barbados now looking to go forward. We'll see a little bit more of that ball is played for. Here comes Hart with a shot. And the ball goes wide of the uprights.
Flag goes up anyway, offside, but a bit better on that occasion in the build-up from Mario Hart.
And it's still 0-0 here. Barbados soaked up the pressure and made the substitution, and we're looking to Sargent coming in. Not sure if it was the substitute you were calling for, but the one that we got, and I suspect we'll have another one very shortly.
Yeah, certainly looks so. Still see no reason why Elijah Downey can't get a piece of this action here. Chance here for Curacao though. Dribbles past one, tries to take the second man out of it. Ball cleared away this time, past the half line. Cushion header down this time to Bakuna. Bakuna releases it 5 yards and brings that Keyser into play down this right hand side now. Curacao in possession, 5 touches on the ball, right across the center circle, all the way to Martino. Cuco Martino plays for Southampton. Scored one of the best goals you could score as a right back, but tonight he's asked to play a central role in this Curacao team. Forwarded forward by Jules, cut out at the back this time again by Martina. Spreads it wide right. 68 minutes gone, and the first real piece of bad control by the Curacao team for the whole evening. I made that as that ball tickles off his right foot and goes out. Their possession is good, their passing ability is very good, But yes, they're also human, ladies and gentlemen, who are listening on the World Wide Web, as well as Hot 95.3 FM. The ball all the way back to goalkeeper Broom from Curacao, who clears his lines, but he loses possession. Barbados in possession, low to go past, chance here, shot comes in, saved by keeper Broom with the left hand. Oh, brilliant shot, and a superb one-handed save, pushes it round the corner. Barbados with their first real salvo of the whole match, and it was, I believe, Romario Hayward tickled it through the legs of one man, made his way into the 18-yard box. Out came Voom, and as the shot was taken with the right foot, he parried it around the corner for Barbados' first corner of the second half. 0-0 here at the Usain Bolt complex.
Curacao keeper keeps his team level. That one was destined for the back of the net. Ball at the far post now. Shot comes in. It's a goal. It's a goal for Barbados out of basically nothing. The corner which preceded the save, it goes far post Trevor Thorne. I'm trying to find out who has put it past the keeper.
Romario Hayward, the BDF skipper, has put Barbados ahead on 70 minutes. Surprise, surprise. As the corner kick came in, the crowd went up in anticipation, and there, with a little twist and turn, and then he buried it. Romario Hayward puts Barbados ahead. Barbados 1, Curacao 0. Game on.
That one was the definition of against the run of play. After a good bit of work from the keeper, Barbados took the corner quickly, red back post, caught everyone napping, and oh, how sweet the goal was. Let's see what happens now. And immediately, Curacao are about to warm another substitute. That looks like the player warming up seems to be Chino Antonio, and he looks like the next player who Coach Clivert will call upon. Let's see what Barbados do in response. Trevor, is it a case now of trying to protect this one goal, or do you go for another 20 minutes or so to play?
Well, Barbados, I think they need to keep on playing this cat and mouse game, which is soak up the pressure and realize that the team has all, in fact, 60% of the possession. The sharp shooters haven't been sharp today. Play the odds, and then hopefully you'll get a chance like the one that Hayward scored just now. So I will play this, I will continue to play this very same game, knowing that the ability to hold the ball long is with the Dutch coach and philosophy of Curacao, and then beat them on the counter. Here comes Hart. He's in a little bit in the wars. I think the referee's going to pull a yellow card. Yes, he does. This card around goes to Aston Villa's Leonardo Bacuna on 71 minutes then. One card apiece, and still all to play for.
I believe that's 2 cards for Curacao. Remember, another player had one in the box, so Curacao.
Dive.
Yes. And another substitution made now, as we mentioned, coming on is Antonio.
8 goes out.
That is Gino Van Kessel. Takes a seat. 20 minutes, I mean that 18 minutes left now for Curacao to find an equalizer. 18 minutes left for Barbados to hold on and take victory in this Scotia Bank CFU Men's Caribbean Cup first round encounter. Barbados with a precious 1 goal advantage here at the Usain Bolt complex.
So as that ball goes into touch, it will be a goal kick. Looks like a goal kick from here. 72.5 minutes gone as the Jamaican referee Kevin Morrison goes over to attend to a Barbadian player that's down, then summons the medic to come onto the field. She makes her way now to take care of, I believe that is Rashad Jules.
And it's also been pointed out, Trevor Thorne, that immediately after the goal, Emerson Boyce has dropped off a bit. Now sitting in front of the defensive foursome. And does Barbados try to shore up at the back now? I guess that question is answered. Looking to protect this 1 goal advantage. Boyce was playing perhaps another 5 yards up front. 10 yards ahead of where he's now anchored, and looking to sweep ahead of the Barbados back for 73 minutes gone, and it's Barbados 1, Curacao 0.
Right, so Curacao passing that one away from their attacking player into touch. Barbados now with the throw as he's assisted. Curacao looking to speed the game up.
Yes, give him
Rico
the ball.
Graham looking to take his time, as he should, and throw this as far as he can down the field now. Gets a 25-yard clearance with the throw. Hart in possession, one-on-one, tucks it to the outside, and then Raheem Sargent, in an attempt to play the 20-yard ball up the field, what happens is it slides off his right foot and goes into touch. So Curacao in possession. They're trailing by a Romario Hayward 70-minute goal, and now they go into the 18-yard box. Chance here, takes it on his chest. The foot goes up to the head of Rico Graham.
He gets a boot to the face.
He gets a boot into the face. Yes, he did. The attacker on this occasion, Antonio, tried to bring it down with his foot rather than go with his chest, and therefore, as the defender put his face there, he got the boot straight into the face, and he's rinsing in a bit of pain. Barbados medic sprinting around the cycle track now as the player signals that he's probably going to be okay. Doesn't need any ice pack. I think he'll play on from there. I possibly would have killed a bit of time there and took the momentum out of the game, stayed down and let the medic come tactically, but he didn't do that.
Curacao player goes to him afterwards, says, "Sorry chap, didn't mean to do that." But Green putting his body on the line, takes a boot to the face. All's well that ends well, however, in terms of that particular play. Barbados regained possession. 75th minute of this encounter. We're still live on Hot 95.3 FM and Sport.bb. Barbados with a 1-0 advantage. Bit of sloppy play. You can hear the crowd going up behind us. They're into it now, as you can expect. We cheer the good stuff. We're quiet for everything else. Paul Mears in Barbados with a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, that's the Barbados way. I will say right after the goal, I thought he would have heard a little bit more support, but they went quiet again, and just a few oohs and ahs. Barbados playing around a bit with the ball too much in the own half, and they want to see Barbados going forward again with this ball.
So here they go now. This is Boyce. He's robbed a bit this time by the English Premier League. Bakuna dribbles past two, and in an attempt to play the leading ball into the 18-yard box, he's tumbled over, but all's fair in love and war. Doesn't get any foul for it, and the ball trickles all the way back to Broom, who uses his 18-yard box, kills a bit of time, places it on the turf, and then clears 60 yards just past the half line with his right foot. Defensive header into the center circle. Goal scorer Hayward, tumbled over by, this time around, substitute Michael Maria, and he gets a free kick, which I would suspect that Bailey will take. Yes, he spreads it wide left, long and high looping ball, which is cleared away by the defense in the form of Carmelia, and Barbados then with the throw. And every single ball now that goes out, you find that the Curacao team are going and fetch the ball. They're fetching the ball and putting it right back on the spot for Barbados to play quickly. But if I were Barbados, I'd possibly continue to take my cool time.
Every trick in the trade.
Kill a few seconds, and
There
that
you
might
go.
get you the victory that you're looking for. But good stuff by Colin Heavyfoot Hayward. He's riding on the luck, having had Curacao with 5 or even 6 chances to score. They couldn't put the ball into the net. Barbados' first real chance was scored by Hayward, and Barbados in the lead. Into the 18-yard box it goes. This is Curacao on the attack. Boyce plays it forward, finds goal scorer Hayward. Hayward past one man, turns back, plays the leading left foot ball. Superb ball finding Sargent. Fails to control it properly on the first chance. Faces up one-on-one. Little bit of a jingle and a jangle. X's over it once, goes right side, squares the ball.
Corner.
With the assistance of the right foot of Gillian Justino, he wins his team a corner kick.
Barbados also about to make another substitution. Let's see who's the player who will be substituted. Will they do it before or after the corner? They're trying to make the substitution. Trevor, perhaps you can put the binoculars into use there. Give us an idea of who is coming on. I think we'll take the corner first. Of course, Barbados in no real hurry to do that. As they try to run the clock down, they have another 12 minutes worth of defending to do. Of course, Barbados, in case you've just joined us, lead Curacao 1-0. Corner comes in, back post once again. Curacao alert to it this time. Defensive header, and they're off to the races before Barbados recover. Bailey knocks it downfield looking for Boyce, headed on by Boyce. Foot race, but it's won by Eli Groom, who comes to the assistance of his defense. Grabs the ball for Curacao. 79 minutes gone, and it's still Curacao 0, Barbados 1. Barbados still waiting to make that substitution.
Yeah, the gent who's on that far side is Amanda Sugar Lashley. That's right, 11 goals for the season. Chance here just past the far post of Kiesel Broom.
Here comes the substitution now, so Lashley comes on.
Interesting to see who goes out.
I think it's Hart.
And yes, it looks like Hart will take a seat. The number 9, he's done lots of running tonight, sweating profusely. Always a man up for the battle. He's playing a hard role tonight, Trevor Thorne. He's been in the wars. Gets a big hand from the Barbados crowd out on the far side. And a big hug from Lashley. Comes on with another 11 minutes to play. Hart takes a seat. On comes Armando Lashley with Barbados 1-0 in front.
Well, this man Mario Hart played 40 times for Barbados and scored 10. That's an average of 1 every 4. Not bad at all. And tonight it's been a tough encounter. He's had the wherewithal to hold off the likes of Lachman, Martina. Also had battles with Justina and Carmelina, and has been able to bring the midfield into play on certain occasions. Sargent making himself work really hard by giving away that possession rather easily. A triangle made by Curacao. Into the danger zone it goes. Cut out at the back this time by Emerson Boyce. And he pumps it up the field 60 yards. There goes the speedster, Amanda Sugar Lashley, but into touch. As you say, good night to Katrina and Marvelous Mary, who have joined us here at the Usain Bolt Complex. It's Curacao in possession down the left-hand side. Slow, methodical build-up across the 18-yard box as they go to the right-hand side. Carmelita into play. Tucks it to the left-hand side and brings the substitute Maria in, but he gives up possession. Ball throdded through, this time but to Amanda Sugar Lashley. Lashley trying to read that play, but the Dutch team much too smart and able to put 5 touches together and bring the ball towards the center circle. They go slightly left and bring left back Julianne Justina into play, and the long searching ball stretching Barbados' defense down this right hand side for Curacao. It's the left for Barbados. Here comes Bakuna. Bakuna under some pressure, runs past one man, has Boyce for company, shakes Boyce off and plays it to the right hand side. Curacao 6 touches, 7 touches, back to Aston Villa's Bakuna into the 18-yard box. Touched once and played down this right hand side by a man that is earning his stripes for Barbados and earning them very well. That'd be Rico Graham, playing cool, calm, collected, clears from 30 yards and gives possession to Curacao. The short ball played with the throw. Curacao now methodical again across the center, and Romario Hayward then chasing left and right. Perhaps that should be the job of the fresh player, Amanda Sugar Lashley, but he takes the center spot and lets Hayward do the running. Square ball into the box, cleared away for the umpteenth time, this time by Bailey. And Bailey showing his experience that he would have gained playing in the TNT Pro League for Caledonia FC.
As we continue, another 8 minutes left on the clock. Foul as the flag goes up. Barbados ball. Kiesel Broom, the keeper, takes it to hand now and will distribute downfield. And that ball has definitely settled the Barbados nerves a bit. But Paul, they would be wise not to be overconfident, because Curacao have been just about on point, on par all night long. The goal definitely came against the run of play.
That's right.
Barbados were clinical enough to score their first real shot on goal.
And they're trying to come down that right hand side again. Ball bubbling around in the center of the field. The shot comes, it's a weak one, and no problems at all for Kiesel Brooms. But I'm sure over these next few 6 or 7 minutes that the Curacao team will be looking to get a few more players forward in search of that elusive goal. They've had quite a number of opportunities Barbados making use of theirs, and at this point in time, with a 1-goal lead, Curacao will be looking for to get a goal here, maybe to if they can leave Barbados with a draw, I'm sure they will certainly feel a lot better. But at the moment, Barbados, as you said, settled a lot more, and the team looking a lot better.
Referee is pointing out an infringement, a bit of a push. Was it in the back? Another substitution. Off goes Jamal Chandler for Barbados. So final substitution. And let's see the player coming on. That's Coach Herwood. Pulls his final card.
It's Mario Williams wearing 14, the BDF utility man. Is on the field of play. He's going to lock down the middle of this midfield and try to assist the Blackpool professional Emerson Boyce, who's on the ball now. Spreads it inside. This time around finds Jules. Jules finds Amanda Sugarlasty. Fails to connect the 1-2 and gives up possession. 84 minutes gone. It is Curacao in possession going down this right-hand side, asking a lot of Bakuna as he tangles with Mario Williams. Williams is a utility player and has had a hand in leading the BDS Sports program, the defending champions who are leading the table in the Digital Premier League right now. He's had a hand in that middle of that midfield. He's also played at sweeper on some occasions, so he knows what he's doing in the middle of this midfield, trying to slow down and impede the progress of the skillful Dutch-based players from Curacao.
Bukunan's had an excellent game for Curacao, been at the heart of most of the attacking work. He's been well managed by the Barbados defense. A player who likes to run a lot, but he's not been allowed to run into or around the box too much. Curacao coming on the attack once again in the closing stages of this one. 5 minutes left, 85th minute. Score still here, Barbados 1, Curacao 0.
So Curacao in possession down this left-hand side. The second half, they're kicking from right to left. And anyone who's locked on and loaded, as well as listening right here at the Usain Bolt Complex, would realize that they're playing in the total full white kit, trimmed with blue. Barbados playing at home, and therefore playing in their home kit, which is the blue and gold with trimmed with black, and also leading by 1-0. Last time around, Curtis, as you said earlier, in one of our other broadcasts, Barbados beat Curacao 2-1 back in 2008, and that particular matchup was ages ago. So this one is the one that matters most for Barbados. If you can take this 1-0 victory into the weekend and head for Dominican Republic, then they're well on their way to making it to the second round of the Scotiabank CFU second round.
Goes down.
There he goes. Nothing for it but a free kick, but it's in a very dangerous position, slightly left, and therefore someone with a really good right foot could bury this past Kiesel Broom. But it is, in all fairness, 20 and 30 odd yards out, and it would take a really special free kick for this one to hit the back of the net.
I think they're going to try to float this one near the far post. Curacao, lots of tall players. The shot will be ambitious. That said, Barbados opting for a 3-member wall in the 87th minute of this one. Curacao on the ball. It's Bakuna as he prepares to stroke it in with the right foot. Here comes the magic spray. Bakuna.
Welcome to international football too then, huh?
There you go.
Yeah. The spray is out. Both marking the ball and the 10-yard spot. Bakuna with the right foot shot and off the head of a very brave Emerson Boyce. It was rifled in, possibly about 45 miles an hour, a bit curly, and Boyce put the forehead on it, leaving with a little bit of a headache. But who cares about that when you can take 3 points here this evening?
He's behind his age out there. Looks to be the most energetic member of the Barbadian unit. Wants this one for Barbados, and he wants it badly. Spoke with pride of playing for Barbados. Really wants to see them put on a good show for the local fans. And while it hasn't been a vintage display, Trevor Thorne, gritty, it'll get us over the line. We'll take it. Curacao, however, will have other opinions and other expectations. final 2 minutes now plus additionals, and it's still Barbados 1, Curacao 0.
As you know, quick move back 365 days for Barbados, and you realise that had some reasonably good results. 2-2 draw against St Vincent, a 3-0 victory over Aruba in those ill-fated matches, which allowed Barbados to then ease out of the competition. But they've also beat USVI 4-0 in USVI, having been beaten by USVI right here at the National Stadium. And therefore a bit of up and down for the last 365 days for the Barbados team, and a victory here would be just what the doctor ordered to build their confidence and allow them to take 3 points in this group and head all the way over to Dominican Republic, where they play early next week in the final encounter of this first leg of the Scotiabank CFU Championship.
Special good night to the fans on the back end of the arrow barrow of the Center for creative excellence up on the ridge.
The mound.
Free seating. Large crowd over there. Thanks for having it locked to Hot 95.3 FM. They're waving, Trevor Thorne. Having a great time.
We're back too.
Injury time approaching. Barbados still with a 1-0 lead.
Good stuff there by Harewood as the ball is played across the 18-yard box. There's Mr. Ever Reliable as well. Mr. Rico Graham clears with his head. And Amanda Sugar Lashley, 11 goals for the season for Paradise. Played 9 times already for Barbados. Hasn't scored as yet. And I wonder if he can put his name on this score sheet and create some history for himself.
If he gets one at this stage, that's definitely the winner. Barbados with a 1-0 lead. We're into injury time. Still with some defending to do. Interesting ball coming into the box. Evaded everyone, including Kiesel Broom, but thankfully evades the far post as well. Well, actually, because someone got a touch onto it, and the Curacao have won themselves a corner. Late corners, Trevor, always very, very tricky.
Yeah, but we're marshalled by Emerson Boyce standing on the penalty spot. One man at near post, nobody at far post for some reason, and they've managed to weather the storm for at least those couple of seconds. The ball is on the right-hand side as the square comes in. Chance here.
Boyce again.
Defensive header from Boyce as that one is cleared with his head 20 yards over to the far side there, as Barbados now weather this storm and try to hold on to this lead. Slender lead it is, and you're going to need this going into the Dominican Republic. Not know what that side will be like, having had a few changes by the Cuban coach. 1-2, square ball into the box. Chance here for Curacao. Still alive it is. Cut across the 18 and cleared momentarily. Out comes Rashad Jules. 4-on-2. Barbadians being the 2, you'll have to kill a bit of time. Eases past one man. Down the left-hand side he goes. Jules showing all his experiences. Past one man again. Eats him for bait. Cuts back with the right foot. Square ball into the box. It's a bit wayward, but this won't be controlled this time around by Williams. Williams faces up one-on-one. In fact, he goes into the corner looking to kill time.
Gets a push.
Gets a push, but it's good enough to win throw-in. If I'll throw into Curacao, the goal scored by Romario Harewood would have been his 4th in 13 matches for Barbados, so he too has a pretty good,
very good record. That's a good record, Trevor.
So that's almost like a goal every 3 for him. So excellent stuff by the man known as Pete. That's his nickname. Not know why, but Romario Harewood, yes, easing his way into 4 goals in 13 matches. Ball into the box, cleared away momentarily, up into the air though, and the defensive challenge. Ball falls this time to Sugar Lashley on a run. Convincing, but then in comes the defender and clears. Gets a harsh stare from the captain, that's Coco Martina, because he left the boot in. But the ball is played down the right-hand side as Curacao go in search of an equalizer. Cleared away again, this time by Bailey, who's cramped up on the 18-yard box. He has problems. He needs to stay down and get some attention. But he hasn't done that. He's standing again. The ball played into the 18-yard box, and it finds Bailey's left foot again. The chance here, cuts past one. Cover challenge comes in, this time from Mario Williams, who gives up possession. Cleared away this time as the sweat comes off his head from that diving header. Up the line it goes. Chased down this time by Sargent, but he loses possession. Ball into Bakuna, into the attacking half, ball into the 18-yard box, cleared away by the defense of Barbados, standing strong, and for the second time of asking, it is Louis Moss who clears, and we're past the 90 minutes according to my trusted clock, and this must be time added on for stoppages, Curtis.
I think we're well past an injury. I think here comes the physio. I think Bailey has finally gone down and stayed down on this occasion. Seems to have a spot of cramp. Seems to have taken a knock as well. So the referee is now saying, this is referee Morrison of Jamaica, if you're going to have extended treatment, you need to take it off the field. And Bailey will do so slowly.
But gentlemen, Barbados really soaking up some serious pressure here.
And they're not done.
Giant moments of this encounter.
Here comes another throw from Curacao. Barbados, a man down.
It's over.
Final whistle goes free hit. Cheers from the crowd here at the Usain Bolt complex. A big exhale from Trevor Thorne as well. Trevor did it the hard way, but they got there. Barbados won, Curacao nil.
Yeah, well, Barbados playing the cat and mouse game with this very experienced Curacao team. In the end, managing to get the all-important one goal, a goal coming from Romario Hayward, the BDF captain, and he takes his goal tally to 4 goals for Barbados in 13 matches. But more importantly, Barbados take 3 points from their first matchup. Curacao having it all to do. They, I believe, will meet Dominican Republic first.
Yes.
In their second encounter. I believe that is Friday evening, and then we, as the Barbados team, get to come up against Dominican Republic in Dominican Republic next week early. And for sure, we're in the ascendancy now. A good result overseas now, and Barbados progress to the second round of the CFU Cup.
Here they come now to the applause of the large crowd, and being cheered. The entire team makes its way over towards our commentary position, where the largest section of the crowd is located, and gets a warm round of applause from the crowd. They're led over by Captain Emerson Boyce, putting a captain's performance tonight, led from the front corners.
Very much so, into the strains of a very patriotic song in the background. The Barbados players receiving the applause of the crowd here at the Usain Bolt complex. In the end, a hard-fought victory, but a victory is a victory in the end. Soaked up lots of pressure in periods of that game. In the first half of the encounter, number of occasions, the Curacao team looking very much to be coming very close to scoring. Barbados managed to go to the half, keeping a clean sheet, and in the end, Romario here would be the hero for Barbados, scoring the goal to give Barbados a 1-0 victory. And I'm sure that this team will head off to the Dominican Republic full of confidence now, a lot more. They've been feeling their way just a bit in this one, and they would certainly leave with a lot more confidence. Playing away, but certainly they would need this victory. They've secured it and head off to the Dominican Republic definitely in a good mood.
Down in front of us, Romario Hayward getting a big round of applause, has a few words with his friends and family as the crowd begins to trek out now. Once again, in case you've just joined us, Barbados has defeated Curacao 1-0 in the Scotiabank CFU Men's Caribbean Cup encounter, a round 1 encounter. The goal coming from number 8, Romario Hayward, after 70 plus minutes of football, and Barbados will be very happy with the outcome of that one. That's just about it for us tonight here on a Hot 95.3 FM. And of course, we'll continue with the live coverage of local football. The domestic season resumes on April 2nd, and we'll continue on Sport.bb. But until we rejoin you with more football action live on Hot 95.3 FM on behalf of the entire team, Paul Mears, myself, Curtis Hines, Trevor Thorne, and of course, Iceman at the controls for the final time tonight. It's back to the studio.
Across these fields and hills to the open sea. If ever I'm lost, I know you'll be there for me. Like a sunrise in my eyes, there's no other place I'd rather be. This is my home. This is where I belong. My heart and soul. This is the rock that keeps me strong. This is my home, the most beautiful place in the world. Mine forever. Never will I be alone. Never alone. Barbados will always be home.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel with free music streaming, free WhatsApp, free Facebook, free Instagram, and free Twitter. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153 to sign up to Digicel today.
At Guardian Group, we take care of the things you care for. If accidents happen, our general insurance policies will take care of things. Live safe. And if anything should happen to you, our life assurance policy will make sure your loved ones are taken care of. Live secure. When you want advice on managing your financial assets, our asset management experts can take care of that too. Live wise. And as time passes, our pension plans will make sure you are taken care of too. Live long. Guardian Group. Live easy.
Across these fields and hills to the open sea. If ever I'm lost, I know you'll be there for me. Like a sunrise in my eyes, there's no other place I'd rather be. This is my home. This is where I belong. My heart and soul. This is the rock that keeps me strong. This is my home, the most beautiful place in the world. Mine forever. Never will I be alone. Never alone. Barbados will always be home.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel with free music streaming, free WhatsApp, free Facebook, free Instagram, and free Twitter. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153 to sign up to Digicel today.
At Guardian Group, we take care of the things you care for. If accidents happen, our general insurance policies will take care of things. Live safe. And if anything should happen to you, our life assurance policy will make sure your loved ones are taken care of. Live secure.
And thank you for joining us this evening. We are here with Patrick Kluivert, the coach of the Curacao team, and you guys could ask him anything you would like to find out about how the match went and so on. So thank you. Over to you guys.
Okay, Coach Kluivert, good night. Hard result for you. Had the bulk of the possession, but one defeat. What do you reflect on the next game?
Yeah, I'm quite disappointed. We analyzed the Barbadian team like this, like the way they played. They played quite defensive, and we knew that. When they had ball possession, they a lot of time they played the long ball, and the second ball was for them. Exactly. We had a lot of ball lost in the midfield. Also the backs, the side defenders, they easily gave the ball away. And the first thing that you learn is don't give the ball easy away, and that's what we did. But congratulations to Barbados. I think they did a good job. The first game they won. Physically they were very good, very fast players, and we lacked in scoring a goal because we had opportunities. Our goalkeeper saved a good save in the second half, and that's when the corner came, and with an individual mistake, Barbados could score. But of course, I'm disappointed with the result, because if you analyze a game and your own team is playing like that, but losing the ball very poorly, that's not a good thing.
Okay, we're not as clinical as you would have hoped in front of goal, but definitely some things to build on for the next game against the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, absolutely. We are. It's also very difficult because I have only one day training with them, and that's a difficult thing. A lot of players played Saturday in their own competition and also Sunday, and they traveled a long way to come to Barbados. So it's not easy, but that's life, and I hope to have a good result against the Dominican Republic.
Any questions? Anything else? Yeah?
Yeah?
That's it?
Okay.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Across these fields and hills to the open sea.
If ever I'm lost, I know you'll be there for me.
Like a sunrise
In my eyes, there's
no other place I'd rather be. This is my home. This is where I belong.
my heart and soul.
This is the rock that keeps me strong. This is my home, the most beautiful place in the world.
Mine forever,
Never will I be alone.
never alone.
Barbados will always be home.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel with free music streaming, free WhatsApp, free Facebook, free Instagram, and free Twitter. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153 to sign up to Digicel today.
At Guardian Group, we take care of the things you care for. If accidents happen, our general insurance policies will take care of things. Live safe. And if anything should happen to you, our life assurance policy will make sure your loved ones are taken care of. live secure. When you want advice on managing your financial assets, our asset management experts can take care of that too. Live wise. And as time passes, our pension plans will make sure you are taken care of too. Live long. Guardian Group. Live easy.
Across these fields and hills to the open sea.
If ever I'm lost, I know you'll be there for me.
Like a sunrise.
In my eyes, there's
No other place I'd rather be. This is my home. This is where I belong.
my heart and soul.
This is the rock that keeps me strong. This is my home. The most beautiful place in the world.
Mine forever,
Never will I be alone. Barbados will always be home.
So good evening all, and welcome to the post-match press conference. We have with us from the Barbados team the captain Emerson Boyce and the head coach Colin Herwood. Floor is now open for questions.
And both coach and captain, hard-fought victory. Your assessment of it?
Well, to be honest, the motivation was there, and we planned for the game. The way we played was all about planning for the game. I think the motivation happened when we lost one of our colleagues, which was Randolph Cox. And we just drove that into the players that this game is dedicated to Cox. We can play for Cox. And the way Cox is coached is just the way we play. He's coached with a lot of passion, he loves to win. And we just said that we can go there and play for Cox, play for Barbados, and then play for ourselves. And the players went up there and executed. But we sat down and we planned the game, and I think we played according to how we planned. So I don't know how to
Yeah, as I say, the victory is dedicated to Randolph. May he rest in peace. But it was a hard-fought victory. Curacao is a very good team, technically very good, and we had to work really hard. And each and every player put their effort in, and we got a result. So I'd like to thank the Belgian public for coming out and supporting us, and hopefully we can keep going and keep winning the games.
What are the areas of concern, though, coming out of this game?
Well, basically, as I said, this is our first game after how long? And I think the cohesion is not as there as yet. But as I said, this game was a game that we sat down and we planned for it. We played according to our plan. And we didn't use the players, we didn't use certain players because, as I said, the game was a game that was structured in a way that the players that you see we put out there was the players that were supposed to play this game. Because as the tournament go along, you will see that we will make changes in terms of our selection. We had to drop out 2 players today, and that was specifically because of this game. This game was a game, as boys can tell you, we sit down and we watch Curacao, we see how the men play, we see how we got to come out, we see the players that we needed to put out there. So it wasn't just we win the game. The players put in a lot of hard work, but it was a lot of planning.
You said you played the plan, but give us a little bit more detail on what was the plan.
Well, the plan, we knew that they play off of the ball. We knew they like to pass the ball and move. We knew within the game we had to got numbers behind the ball all the time. We know that the way that sometimes the way the player is, they like to carry the ball in one area and then switch it down. We knew exactly how Curacao would come and play us, and they play right into our plan. We always said that we can defend, and we know we can get at least 1 or 2 opportunities to score. And once we score, we can still stick in there and defend. But I think, as I said, it was more structure than just playing the football. It was a plan. I mean, as a coach, it's the first time when the captain that I put so much into a game by actually planning the game. So I think we played according to plan. We knew how Curacao would have played. We know there's a team that are very skillful on the ball. We knew we had to press. We knew that we had to give them a turn and then take the ball from them in a different way. We knew that we would have been under pressure. But technically, them is a good team and they're organized.
I got another question. Yeah. So, well, you leave on Friday to go to DR, right? Dominican Republic? Yeah, well, I imagine you have done your homework for the game against DR. Can you give us a little insight on what changes you plan to implement, or if you're going to remain the same?
Well, this team, if you notice, we start with 2 defensive mids, which was basically boys and Chandler. In my thinking, we did that because we didn't play home once. We didn't want to lose the game. And we knew that they would have been strong in the middle. When we go home to play against the Dominican Republic, which, to be honest, I haven't done no research on the Dominican Republic myself. But I play against the Dominican Republic at youth level, and I know the system, and I knew how to play. And the team will change according to that game. Because this team that we played, as I said, was for this game. The next team that we play, which is the Dominican Republic, I think we will play, although we play in a way, we still got to win. We'll play a little bit more attacking team. But our strategy tonight, I won't want to come here and say our strategy tonight was defensive. But our strategy was to defend. If we got the goal, to defend that goal, and the guys are going to play.
Are your professionals available for the next game?
Everyone.
Any concerns about the Hooligans game?
Not really. I think, as I said, everybody plays a plan. He realized too that he had to really work tonight. Most of his play wasn't on the attacking third, it was on the defensive third where he was supposed to trap. But if you notice, all 2 of our wingers was playing a game where we had to trap back because we knew how them is played. They normally play with 3, they play with 1, they play actually the same way we play, but what they do is that they play the ball, they set in one area, pull it off, then they play that one out. And we had to got men tracking all the time. Our game, as I said, it wasn't just a game, it was a plan game, and I think we won the plan.
Coach, congratulations. Are you worried about the way they were being allowed to sort of bring the ball to the midfield and have the opportunity to build and sort of pass the ball around in the midfield and decide where they're going to pass the ball to? I mean, I understand you were defensive, but again, they had so much opportunity in the midfield to sort of decide their options. But I just thought the defense did a great job, and I was wondering why they were giving so much space. And again, when you're talking about Dominican Republic, is a Latin team, so they will be more technical than what we saw from Curacao. How are you going to deal with a team that can come into your half and string passes together and do better with the technical side of things than Curacao did today?
Well, I going back to just what I tell you. We strategize this game to suit the way Curacao is playing. because it boils down to how we wanted to deal in the game within the game. We knew how Curacao is played. We knew there was a very technical team. We knew that we had to give them a third and try to win the ball in the other third. We knew we had to get numbers behind the ball. This game wasn't just a game. I know we didn't play pretty, and I can open up. We didn't play pretty. But as the coach of the team, we play according to plan. And I think that's very important. If you're the coach and you realize the guys play the way you would like them to play, you know, the public might see the performance different, but I know as the coach, we know how we were supposed to play, as you said, in terms of Oligan. How much times Oligan took up the ball and run at people? Most of the time he was behind the ball and he was defending and giving us that ball in the back. And that's how we were supposed to play. We were supposed to play behind the ball, and the guys actually carried the plan to suit. So although we play against Curacao this way, I don't think our next performance against Dominican Republic might be a little better, because we might be able to play more freely. I think Dominican Republic, and I'm not going to cry down Dominican Republic, but I think Curacao is a better team than Dominican Republic. Technically, and to me, there's a better team organized than Dominican Republic. And I say that because experience has shown me playing against Dominican Republic how the best play.
And Emerson, obviously you have to be satisfied with the result. However, were you satisfied with the quality and standard of play in the game this evening?
I think people forgetting that we won 1-0. You know, at the end of the day we won the game. So what else do you want? I think, you know, everybody sacrificed themselves for the team. You know, we sacrificed individual talent, individual flair for the win. And I think that's more important than anything else. If this team want to progress, and the key word is the team, then everybody's got to do their bit. They've got to work hard. This is a game where we're playing against opposition that play in the high leagues, you know, and if we went out there to try and match them, they'll beat us. Simple. Sometimes hard work beat talent. On paper, they're much talented than us. We showed tonight that we outworked them. And if you actually look how many shots they had on goal, I can't really remember them being many shots on goal. Then you look at the other way, how many shots did we have on goal? Especially second half. So I think the key thing is we won the game 1-0, and we need to get behind the team and keep supporting.
Ronaldo Bailey injured on 85 minutes. Is that a serious injury? And do you have any other injury concerns going into the next game?
Good answer.
He got cramp.
Well, he just picked up cramp. I think it was just cramp, and we don't have no other serious injuries. I think the only person that will come to mind is Jules, because Jules had an injury. And when I was going to make the sub, it was supposed to be Jules. It wasn't supposed to be Jules. In my head, it was telling me to take off Jules. But 10 minutes after I met the sub, which is her, Jules told me that he wants subs. So Jules was out there and he was laboring. So I think the only concern I got right now is Jules. And that's a groin injury.
One other question for me. Kiesel Broom showed his true quality today.
Yes.
There were plenty of shots, Emerson.
You sure?
Yeah, coming at
Okay.
Brooms, and Brooms saved and never let the balls. I think you only let one ball spill out. So for me, that was the ball spill. Yeah. So for me, the fact that you would have brought Brooms from USA, he's shown his worth this evening. Would you agree with me totally?
You mean boys? Boys answer that one.
He's a top goalkeeper. He showed his quality today, and I think he just answered your own question by what he said. So I think you've done it.
Yeah?
Finished?
Okay, well, thank you very much,
Thanks.
guys.
So yes, once again, officials of Barbados 1, Curacao 0.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel, with free music streaming, free WhatsApp, free Facebook, free Instagram, and free Twitter. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153 to sign up to Digicel today.
At Guardian Group, we take care of the things you care for. If accidents happen, our general insurance policies will take care of things. Live safe. And if anything should happen to you, our life assurance policy will make sure your loved ones are taken care of. Live secure. When you want advice on managing your financial assets, our asset management experts can take care of that too. Live wise. And as time passes, our pension plans will make sure you are taken care of too. Live long. Guardian Group. Live easy.
Across these fields and hills, it